So related to this, when you said everything was going very well until Beijing, and just now you also mentioned that I was naturally good at swimming and just progressed along the way. So for people who are maybe naturally talented at something, like how do you ensure that you have that motivation or the drive to continue to train and be good at it, and not like, I'm talented so I can do whatever I want.
Like complacent.
Yeah.
So the other day I was thinking about this. I was thinking about how sometimes there are swimmers who are so naturally talented. They're the ones who work hard and not very talented. I was thinking about it and I was like, you know what? There is always needs to be a balance. For the ones who are naturally talented, they gotta work hard to a certain point. But then the other ones who are not so talented, they work so much harder. But then there has to be a balance, because this person could very easily work so much harder that they overtake this person who's talented but not so, doesn't work that hard. So like if this person who is naturally talented but wants to succeed, then they have to realize that there's always going to be someone who's going to potentially be better than you. So the main underlying thing is to not compete with other people. Like it's always, I believe it's a competition with yourself. Because like, let's say you have a limit, like this is your limit. If you work your best, your hardest, and then this is the most you will ever go, then this is all you need to like be. Like you need to aim for this, If you aim for harder, you just won't get there, So it's always to be better than yourself, So it's always to work better and better than you were yesterday. Like I always think I want to be faster than the person I was like yesterday or last week, especially in training. Because even if I let's say I want to be faster than my teammate, that's not fair because my teammate is a different classification, So it's like it's not really a point competing against others, because that's uncontrollable. You cannot control you go faster, you go slower. So it's always healthier, and I think also better to compete within yourself. Like be better, be the best you that you can be.
So if you have to say between talent and hard work, which one is more important?
I don't know, man. Like it could go either way. It could be like talented but lazy, or hardworking but no talent at all. No talent.
Yeah.
So it's really both are required sometimes. Yeah.
I think just now you mentioned after Beijing, you took some time off to try powerlifting as well. Can you walk me through the emotions again of leaving swimming to try powerlifting?
Okay, so like the main reason why I left swimming was because I was very negative in the space. So whenever I go to the pool, I'm just like upset. So it's like I know that to kind of rectify that, I leave the pool and then maybe get a new environment, get a bit refreshed, maybe find out if I'm good enough in powerlifting, if I love it enough to switch over. That was how much how negative I was feeling. Like I was willing to go to a different sport. So I was like, you know what, I think I can try powerlifting. It's just the competition is just a single bench press, heaviest bench press. So I went to try for a couple of months. And the new environment really helped me a lot because I met new people and I met new friends, and it was a whole new world opened up for me. And I went for one competition so but then I think it came to a point where I had to think about whether do I really completely let go of swimming and go full on into powerlifting, or do I stop powerlifting and go back to swimming? Because in powerlifting, the muscles that I was building was not really good for swimming. I had to make a decision technically based on my future in swimming, or whether I'm just going to stick to powerlifting all the way. Yeah. In the end, it was something deep inside me that was like, I'm not done with swimming yet. As much as I want to say I want to quit and just let it go, right? I can't. Because it's something that tells me in my back of my mind, very deep in, saying no, don't give up yet, So it's not something explainable, because if you look at logic, right, it's just leave because you're not that I had not invested that much time yet, it was 2008, right? So it's 10 years, I think. So there was still another 10 years after that I had not seen. And if I quit, then it would still be fine, So logic speaking, it would have been easy to just say go and do a different sport because I was also doing not too bad in powerlifting. Yeah, but it's really just something in my mind Yeah.
At that point, when you make the decision to maybe I will go powerlifting or try powerlifting, did anybody say, or did you feel like you were quitting?
a lot of my decisions never felt like I was stressed by the public or other people, whether friends or family. I think they've always let me make my own decisions. So I've always felt quite empowered to just say, I want to do this and go and do it lah. If I truly wanted to go in one direction, they would just like let me do it, you know. There wasn't anybody who really like say, no, you cannot do this. Yeah, so when I did decide to go and join powerlifting, it was quite easy to just go and try, because they were like, you know, they can tell that I'm very upset, right? So let me go and try lah, you know, maybe I'm also as good in powerlifting, and who knows, right? So everyone was pretty encouraging actually. It was all like just internal, like my mind just going like whether I want to quit or not. Yeah.
You mentioned about the 2008 Paralympics in Beijing when you lost out by 0.7 seconds, right? How did it feel? I know you must be very upset, right? But you know, can you describe how do you feel?
I would say at the time it was the worst thing I've ever encountered, which is a really privileged thing to say because there are so much worse things in life than losing at a competition. But like at the time, it was really the worst thing I felt, because I like en route to Beijing, I had never really experienced such loss, because I was always doing really well, you know, and then came to Beijing, and then like the thing that I wanted was out of my reach and it's not within my control, and it was really sad lah. But it was also the thing that allowed me to change my mindset. So it was actually like a blessing in disguise. Without this failure, I wouldn't have been able to realize that what I have been doing was making me so unhappy, you know? Like, I think sometimes I do think that things happen for a reason. Not all things, but I do think some things happen for a reason, and I think this happened to allow me to change my mindset. So even though at the time it was sad, like after I view it back and I was like, it's okay, like it made me grow as a person. Yeah.
Sure. So for anybody out there who's watching this, who's feeling like it's the lowest point in their life or lowest point in their career,
it will pass. Like, I think if that taught me anything, it really did teach me that I may feel like that now, but like 3 months later, I will feel better and better and better and better, you know? So like, you know, they say this too shall pass. It's so cliche, but it's so true. Like, it's like, you know that this thing now is terrible. It's so horrible to go through, but like, you know that if you keep working on yourself and on the situation and getting better, then you're gonna keep getting better, because you're gonna keep improving. And then like 1 year later, you're like, that was easy, you know, that's fine. I'm better than I was 1 year ago. Yeah.
Is that your favorite quote, or what's the favorite motivational quotes or life quotes that you live by?
I have my own. Like I do live by my own words lah. So I do believe that these 3 things, like be kind, be brave, and to be yourself, because these are the things that I think, especially in the past 5 or so years, I've started to really believe in them. Being kind, because like the world is so hard already, you know, like why do you want to make it worse, you know? So you need to be kind to each other. Being brave, because the same thing, like the world is scary. And sometimes when you want to make like decisions for the first time, or like you don't know whether it's gonna work out or not, it's scary. So you gotta be a bit braver than you need to be, or you need to be braver lah. Like the last one is because I think sometimes people don't know how to be themselves, or they don't know about themselves enough, and then they're just lost, you know. And I think like life is not worth living if you cannot be yourself. So that's like the most important to me lah, is to be yourself.
Any final words of wisdom?
I mean, truly the most important thing to me is that life is really short. Like, go and, if you want to do something within reason, don't like spend all your money. but like make sure that you're happy in your life, you know. I think it's a real waste if you are living and are unhappy. Like, if you are in a general sense not happy with your life, I think you should make changes to change it lah, and seize life by the horns. Yeah.